The biggest prospect in this African team that are in the World Cup now is currently Emile Witboy, which is from South Africa. The most South African talented player currently in South Africa right now. Alwande Boys in two, attacker, he plays for Golden Arrows. It's a very good one for Africa.
Welcome back to EVO SPORTS. We are going to discuss about World Cup Under-17 going on in Qatar. We have 10 African countries participating in that tournament, which are South Africa, Senegal, Morocco, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Zambia, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Uganda. I'm going to read out the first round of games played. South Africa defeated Bolivia by 3-1. Senegal played at a goalless draw with Croatia. Japan defeated Morocco by 2-0. Tunisia defeated Fiji by 6-0. Ivory Coast lost to Switzerland by 1-4. Then Haiti lost to Egypt by 1-4. Indonesia lost to Zambia by 1-3. Mali defeated New Zealand by 3-0. USA won Burkina Faso by 1-0. Then Canada defeated Uganda by 2-1. That's the first group stage that they've played. So I'm going to read out the second group stage. Then from there, we know that people that are the points that they have presently. In the second round of the group stage, Portugal defeated Morocco by 6-0. Argentina defeated Tunisia by 1-0. Senegal defeated Costa Rica by 1-0. Qatar played at a 1-1 draw with South Africa. Egypt played at a 1-1 draw with Venezuela. Zambia defeated Honduras by 5-2. Czech Republic was defeated by Burkina Faso by 1-2. Uganda played at a 1-1 draw with Chile. And Mali was defeated by Austria by 3-0. So that's the first and the second group stage. So now I want us to understand, how is Africa performing in this ongoing under-17? I'm starting off with my good friend Albert.
I think 10 African team qualified in the World Mundial Under-17 World Championship. And they've started their first round and their second round of matches. But so far, so good. I think it's a mixed feelings. Some of the African teams won, some were defeated. And I think Morocco defeated a team by 16 goals.
And that's the third round.
The third round. So they've tried a lot. And I think if 10 African teams should represent Africa in the Under-17 Championship, looking at the history of African football when it comes in terms of youth development, age-grade football in the world, I think Africa is supposed to be a force to reckon with. But so far, so good. This tournament now, I see a spark from the Senegalese side, the Mali side, the Moroccan side, South African side. At least more essentially, these four countries, they have really produced.
But Morocco did not play. They lost the first and second.
They lost the first and second matches.
Only won the
third by 16 goals to nil. Who knows? They may qualify by best loser, probably by less than. But there are some countries that produced some spark. And, sometime in the tournament that I remember, in Nigeria and Japan and the three, we won all our match till the ultimate day we won. But it's not like that in every other under-17. Some may just lose the first match. Second match, they may draw. Third match, they may just win. At the end of the day, they go ahead to win the trophy at the end of the day. So, but it's a nice one. But it will be noteworthy to know that these large numbers from Africa are going to represent Africa in the world stage. I believe the worst they can come out with is to come with second or third. I expect that Africa, with their level of football development, identifying star football players from a youth age grade, as opposed to produce one of the best. Considering that this 10, other time before the large, it was 4. It was 4. Before this large, it used to be anybody that qualified for the semi-final in the Nations Cup before we come and go and represent Nigeria in the World Cup. But now the format has changed. It's a 10 nationals that's going to represent Africa. So they're supposed to perform more better than this. But hopefully, let's see what pans out when they qualify for the next stage. The team that qualify for the next stage, the knockout stage, from there we'll pick up the analysis and see what they host Africa in the world stage.
Okay, Chima, in the first round of the game, the African teams that performed extremely well, is South Africa, Tunisia, Egypt, Zambia, and Mali that perform in the first group stage. You understand? What do you make of this first group stage? How have Africa really performed, considering that Morocco lost and Ivory Coast lost in the same group stage, Burkina Faso and Uganda?
Well, not Nigeria not being there, first of all, is a very big loss for Africa, to be honest. And because I remember the last one Nigeria won, the days of Victor Osimhen, who is shining now.
Galatasaray.
Samuel Chukwueze, then Nwakali. So, and then it has produced this, at least, if not for anything, at least one star in terms of Victor Osimhen. They conquered the world then. So now Nigeria, we've all known that Nigeria is one of the countries in Africa that produces very, very good squad in terms of under 17. But unfortunately, football is growing, and then other African countries too are stepping up, so which is very good for African football. It shouldn't be one team particular, so there should be a competition. So whenever you win any tournament, you can be proud of it that at least you fought and you won. So definitely I know that Senegal are doing well. They are going to perform at least far better depending on the other opponent, but I know that they will do well because Senegal too have been doing well in terms of under 20, under 17. South Africa, they have a very good structure as well. I feel like they are going to perform very well then. But I have some interesting objective about the under 17 World Cup.
Okay.
Talking about some young stars that we should be looking out for, and then the player that in the next few years, I think we should be talking about them. And these guys, we have South Africa, Alwande Boysen. He's a creative
midfielder.
Yes, he has really done well in the tournament, and then the way he plays in the tournament has been so exciting, and then we should be looking out for this guy. In terms of from Tunisia, we have Wassim Slama. He's an attacker too. He has done well. Morocco, we have Monsef Zekri, and then the biggest prospect in this African team that are in the World Cup now is currently the most highly rated player. Is currently Monsef Zeki
from Senegal.
From Morocco.
Okay, Morocco.
From Morocco, yeah. The boy is rated over 2.5 million euros currently. And it's
market value.
Yes, it's market value currently for a young boy like that at 17 to be rated for
so might not even be 17, might be 16.
You understand? And so which means it's a very good one for Africa. And then he plays for KV Michelin in the Belgian league. And he has started about 8 matches so far this season. So it's not just a boy from academy, but at that age himself, he's playing in the first team. He's playing a first team football at his level. So for him to come to this World Cup as well, in fact, and for transfer market to rate him over 2.5 million euro, that is a very, very good one. We have Emile Witboy, which is from South Africa, the most South African talented player currently in South Africa right now. He debuted 2 matches on the 2nd of March 2025 as a sub against Amazulu. He made 4 league appearances totally. I feel like these are the boys that that are making wave in the tournament that we should be looking at.
African boys.
Yes, African boys. Alwande Boysen too, as an attacker, he plays for Golden Arrows. 3 appearances this season so far. So it's a very good one for Africa as well. So because the tournament, not just winning the tournament is the problem, but at least
producing
players that will showcase talent in the world. Player that, after the tournament, you can easily say that these are the boys, because the essence of this tournament is to produce good players, is to produce players out of this tournament that in the next 4 or 5 years, you can integrate them into the first team or of your national team. You can say, okay, yes, these are the players from this tournament. These are what the Europeans are doing. And I feel like Africa, we are getting there gradually.
Okay. Let me go to the rounds of the second round. Morocco lost to Portugal by 6-0. I remember Morocco lost the first game. That means they are still on 0 points for now. Then Tunisia lost to Argentina. They are on 3 points after the second round. Then Senegal won 1-0. But first game, they drew. So automatically, Senegal is on 4 points before the next round. South Africa played at a 1-1 draw with Qatar. That means South Africa is on 4 points too. Then Egypt played a 1-1 draw with Venezuela. Egypt is on 4 points too. Zambia played at Honduras 5-2. That means Zambia won the first game and won the second game. That means that they are on 6 points. Then Burkina Faso defeated Czech Republic. That means they are on 3 points. Uganda played at the 1-1 draw. They are on 1 point. Mali was defeated by Austria 3-0. That means they are on 3 points. Now, I want to look at this African team, the ones that we feel will go to the next round after playing out the round of 3, their third game. Because so far, so good. South Africa won a match, drew 1, and lost 1. That means they're on 4 points. Do you think South Africa will qualify to the next stage?
Mostly in that regard, it now depends on the format the FIFA is using at under 17 level for qualification. If they will use a best loser format, you're getting it, they know the table they are going to pick the best losers for. But the people that qualify automatically are people that, however, has had 6 points or win 2, draw 1. But people that actually are like Morocco that lost two games. Now, if they win their last game, they won their last game 16-0. And that 16-0 as well, if they want to pick a best loser from that group, if that group is seeded for best loser, 16 goals, lost 2, which is 16 goals and 3 points.
Yes.
They may qualify for best loser. Who knows? Because the format now that FIFA is using at 2017 level, we don't know. Looking at the large expanse of the countries that qualified for the under 17 championship. So far, so good. The African teams, what is there is that when the African teams that have qualified has qualified to the next stage, and when they seed them, or when they find their opponents at the knockout stages, we can now start assessing the projection from the group stage to the knockout stage, how they perform, how they play. Because sometimes at the preliminary stages, you see some team coming out with some starting playing styles,
yes,
in which they tune up a different kind of playing style at the knockout stages. So far, so good. The teams that have qualified automatically in Africa, good one for them. While they are waiting for whom is going to qualify, the team that is going to qualify based on best losers or whatsoever, and the team that have not yet played their third matches. So the team that will qualify for the next stage, when they are actually seeded and they know their opponents, from there will pick up what we project or what we see the way they are going to perform from their knockout matches.
Okay, Chima, so far so good. South Africa has 4 points. They won 1, drew 1, and lost 1. Do you think that 4 points will be enough for South Africa to qualify to the knockout stage?
Yes, it should be enough, and we'll have checked the other group
to know
the other team
to know
how many points
they have.
But I believe if you are 4 on the log and then you have the 4 points, at least 4 points should be enough. That's a second seated team. 4 points should be enough to take them to the next round. So if they go there, who knows? Maybe from there they can pick it up and begin to do better.
Okay, Senegal won 2 matches and drew 1. They are on 7 points.
They have already qualified already.
Senegal are qualified. Egypt won 2 and I think lost 1. Morocco lost 2 and won 1. We don't know yet. We don't know how they sit on that table.
Yeah,
we'll qualify because we don't know how they sit on that.
Yeah,
that's the table.
Matches. If you win 30-0, that point is what matters first, because other teams that have 4 points, they will qualify ahead of Morocco. Except there are many teams that are tied on 3 points before they can check their goals.
And Zambia won 2 matches. They've qualified. And again, Mali won the first match and they lost the next match. They've not played out their third match. So we don't know if they draw, maybe 4 points can allow them to qualify.
But possibly, because I think a lot of teams has 3 points. 3 points on that table.
Some people have 0.
Yeah. So if they have 4 points, possibly they may be on their way to qualification.
So the way I'm having a problem now is Burkina Faso and Uganda. Burkina Faso won their first match. They lost their first match and won the second one. Uganda lost to Canada. But I think they played as a 1-1 draw with Chile. That means they are on 1 point. Possibly, if they win their next match, they might have problems and qualify. So, we are wishing the African teams that are in participation to go around.
I know that everybody must not qualify, but out of the 10 African countries, should be in at least quarter semi-final. At least, at worst, they should play final.
But what I think is the problem now, what matters most now is what will determine the qualification of other African countries is their third match that they will play. If they play well and win, automatically most of them will have having 4 points or 6 points. But so far, so good. Senegal, Zambia, Egypt, and South Africa, we strongly believe that they have qualified already. That's what I strongly believe. So the last match will determine who goes to the next round in the other African games that are teams that are playing. So what do you have to say, or what advice do you have to give to African team that is representing for African soil here?
Yes, you see, the age grade, especially under 17, is not basically narrowing its concept on winning trophy. It's narrowing exclusively its concept at developing players that will succeed the generations that are actually, you understand, fading out now. So I so believe Nigeria did not qualify. I don't want to comment much on that. I don't want to express my anger the way it's not supposed to be, because I don't think there's a reason why Nigeria shouldn't have qualified. Looking at 10 African countries that qualified, Nigeria is not there. But no problem. Let's just assume that it is the best 10 African countries that actually qualified. So, but let all the African teams give their very best the way they can give. But I also feel 10 African nations being at the World Championship supposed to produce at most 2 or 1 that will be in the semi-final or in the final, considering the long time development in African football, the long time growth in African youth football, so to speak. Nigeria, South Africa, Cameroon, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, a lot of countries in Africa has actually produced young players that have graced the world stage and actually went ahead to win African best, win the Champions League, name them all over the world. So I think, apart from African team getting to the semi-final or even playing final or even at the end of the winning the tournament, Africa should see this as a medium at which they should as well, invest more in bringing youth development to that level we want. You know, under 17, you're supposed to be ordinarily picked for maybe academies, secondary schools, and all of that. You understand? So, Chima actually spoke about the guy playing for Michelin of Belgium. He should be an academy player, yes, because before he should have the guts to play for Michelin at this age, he should be 16. This under 17. Yes. So anybody playing in under 17 should be below the age of 17. Are you getting? Yes, understand. So if he's playing for Michelin, so the guy was identified many years before this age. Now. So maybe at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, he has shown a lot of prospects. He has been encouraged, and look at where he is today. So Africa should look inwardly and understand that for them to replace the facing out generation of national team, they should develop youth football so that year in, year out, as one team is facing out, we have people, that will replace them so that we can be able to face the world at the world stage. You know, the world stage is every 4 years. Yes, so we should be able to produce players that because there is this notion that Africa cannot win World Cup. Yes. And I debunk that. Africa have the players, the qualities that could win the World Cup. We just need some level of experience. And as well, youth development can as well help us, because if the youth are well developed from the age of 12, 13, 14, they have started playing matches, playing in tournament, playing in big clubs. At the age of 20, 22, 23, they might have seen it all. So there's no player in the world that will threaten them in the pitch of play. Are you getting the picture? So I hope and I really wish that Africa will be there at even play in the finals. If they win or they don't win, posterity will have it. But I want to as well say that Africa should always ensure that they develop youth football so that Africa will not have a vacuum when it comes in terms of world football. Great stage.
To me, I'm seeing about 6 African teams going to the next level, to the knockout stage. But Chima, what advice do you have for African teams that are participating in this World Cup and in the round and the knockout stage, considering that it's not all of them that have played the round of 3?
He has said a lot, and I just want to add it up a little. Nothing much to say, but just that the African countries, they just need to upgrade their facilities. They need to upgrade their academies. They need to upgrade the grassroots football, because this kind of tournament, I don't think we as an African should be there having 10 countries and then not doing well, not winning the tournament or not even playing in the final. Because when we used to be 4 from the continent, Africans have won it. They used to win, perform very well. So, and for Nigeria, having 10 from Africa, Nigeria is not even part of the 10, but when you used to before, you were part of it. So that tells you that your football have gone down, and there's something that needs to be done urgently. If not, even if they increase it to 20, you might not still be there. So if there's anybody that has beaten Nigeria away from under 17 without not allowing Nigeria to qualify, that means a very bad one for Nigerian football. So, and then Africa as a whole, most of these young boys, they tend to travel abroad very fast. Their parents take them to abroad at a very tender age, because they want them to have a better future there. So if Africa begin to put things in play, just like the way South African, Moroccans and North Africans have been doing. That is why you don't easily see most of their players be nationalizing for other countries like that. But these are West African countries and other African countries like Burkina Faso, Congo, the rest, Zimbabwe, all of these other countries. If we begin to develop our grassroots football, develop youth football, bring in facility where so many of those players will not be rushing to Europe to go and join academies in Europe where they want to nationalize for England, for France, for Germany, all of this, where they will be maltreated, where you see racial abuses, where you see so many discomfort. But home is always home. You can see like the South Africans now, most of their young boys from the league, if not from Cape Town, from KZN, to be from Cape Town, from Amazon, all of those. So definitely you have the same facility. So definitely nobody is even thinking of going to go and play now because you are used to your environment, you are used to your culture, then you can easily perform. So my advice for them is any money they are giving to you, not the one they will say snake swallow money or vulture swallow money or algorithm did not bring the money to my side. You took it to another place or monkey carry money run. Let our FAs in Africa develop our football so that the youth can have future in the continent, not hoping that it's only when they travel to Europe to start their football career that is when they can succeed. If not, we'll be lacking behind. But if we can do this, it will help our next under 17 and from there to under 20 to national team and to our national leagues, and then we can perform better.
Okay, thank you. I will say Africans should support our African teams in the under 17 in Qatar to help us support them, give them the morale for them to win their matches and put Africa on the map. I will urge the fans at home to like and subscribe to our channels and share so that our channel will grow. Thank you, and thank you so much.